it was like an epiphany, bro. I'm like, okay, this is something I'm enjoying. Like after that, even when I'm at a party, if someone says something cool, I think of a punchline around that. I think of a metaphor around that. I think of a build-up around that. It's like I'm always thinking about something cool to say, something witty to say, and then I thought might as well, make raps out of it. But when I saw,
before we get carried away, welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 37 of That's What She Said. Oh man, this episode was a blast. It was a party, like in Pune, what we do. And in this episode, we explore Pune through the eyes of Raj. We explore what hip-hop means to him. And in the very last segment, we have a rapid fire round, which is totally not worth missing. Like, that is the money shot, really. It's a lot of fun, so don't miss out on that. But before we begin, hit the follow button on the Spotify app if you haven't already, or you can head to the first link in the description to support the show. We're almost 3 years old and run on your generosity. Also, if you feel that the music is too loud at certain points during the episode, just pretend that you're at a party and you're overhearing some dude speak about music. Alright, let's get you started, shall we? But welcome to the second live recording of That's What She Said, here in Pune at FC Road Social. And I want to start this episode. We have a very small but a very important audience here with us today. We have very interesting guests with us today. And we also have Raj Kadam. What's up? How are you doing?
hello, it feels really good, and I think I'm lucky enough to be on That's What Shri Said, because when Shri says, you better listen.
Oh my god, okay. That is a lot of pressure just to begin with. But
And I remember that night, you didn't have a couple brownies, bro. You had a couple more than you should have had. So,
okay.
and I remember he was lying on the bed. I enter the party. Someone just tells me, Shrivar is headed to the hospital. And for some reason, I enter late and I enter sober. And I'm like, okay, no one here is coming. Let me go handle it. So I head to the hospital. The first Shrivar is lying on the bed as if he's about to die, as he said. And I go to him. The first thing he just asks me is, bro, when am I getting operated? I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, chill, bro. It's just gonna be fine. You're just too high right now.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be fine. But I think that was one of the craziest memories you'll ever have. A scary night. But I think now that we are sitting and laughing about it, I think it was we should have had that night.
Yeah, and I'm glad like the NCB also kind of didn't exist in Pune that time when they didn't really catch us.
You want a star kid?
I'm not a star kid, so that really is a breath of fresh air. But I want to ask you, who is Raj Kadam? Who do you think Raj Kadam is? Like, people have obviously certain points of view, certain thoughts, but how can you describe yourself? Because usually in podcasts we obviously describe the guest, but who do you think you are? Like in a few lines.
Raj Kadam, bro, honestly, even I'm trying to get to know that guy better. But from what I know as of now, he's an indecisive 23-year-old who's trying to go to a destination, but he's taking as many detours as possible because he loves the scenic route. And he, as of now, is living in a certain bubble. Okay. But he's dancing and jumping and he's trying to grow that bubble.
Alright.
Hopefully that bubble grows as big as the globe. But again, he's ambitious.
Alright.
I just hope he figures things out and he finds himself along the way. It's a good time.
Got it. No, that's great. I mean, that's very interesting that you mentioned the whole bubble, because that was one thought I had about Pune, like Pune as a place, and that's something all of us have kind of stayed in. Is that it had a feeling of a sense of that, okay, we're protected, we're shielded in this environment. But you, Raj, you have, correct me if I'm wrong, you've been born and brought up in Pune.
Yes.
Right? So how has that experience been? Because now you of course started working recently after you graduated from college. But just give us a hint of how your perception of Pune and how Pune has kind of influenced you as an individual from your school days to, let's say, a college, and even now while we're sitting here in Pune, of course. So how is the place kind of influenced you? Like your work ethic, or has it kind of had a impact on you? How the way you think, or how you function?
Bro, I'm as Pune as it gets. I literally breathe the city. Like मुझसे पुणे की खुशबू और बदबू दोनों आते हैं.
अरे, wow.
As simple as that. Again, I think along with me changing over the years as a person, Pune has grown to be a totally different city.
Oh, that's interesting.
From what you all came to say Viman Nagar, it didn't exist when I was born.
Yeah.
It didn't exist. And Pune, the certain crowd that we look at in Pune is now. Pune has gone through its phases in
Right.
life, like I've gone through phases in my life.
Of course.
And again, the attitude of Pune is a comfortable city which is pretty laid back, and everyone wants to have a balanced life. And I think I represent that. Like I want to, because of Pune, I want to have a certain art to myself, a certain sport to myself, a certain business to myself.
Right.
I'm comfortable, I'm pretty laid back with my approach, which again has its own pros and cons as
Right.
it comes. But again, it's just the city growing up on me. And it's just me growing up in the city. And I don't think I would trade that for anything else in the world.
Got it. No, that is really. I'm so glad that you have this perspective that there's no stagnation. Like you have grown, and so has the city. Because Pune, as we know, I mean, we can literally hear some of the metro. I mean, it's very close by. The metro is being constructed here, and but still there is a sense of balance. I would say, right? There is a sense of balance, which you don't kind of find in other places. Raj, I want to speak to you about something that I guess is close to your heart, that you have, at least in college, was a very big part. Whenever we used to think of after parties or some event, we used to think, okay, where is Raj Kadam going to take us next? So just tell us what the scene is, how important is partying, because of course we have in Bombay we all know that there's a thing, okay, work hard and play hard, party hard, whatnot. They have great scenes there. But Pune, do you think it has like a separate scene? Like, there are places which can afford more space and therefore have a different feeling altogether. Like, in fact, the space that we're currently in as well, which is FC Road Social, it is quite huge. And in Bombay, I don't think it's possible to have such a huge place with so much of open space. So, do you think that is a factor? Like, do you think Pune, because Pune is such a balanced city, it allows you to enjoy parties even more? People party hard, as you were, just telling us before the episode recording as well, that is it a very big scene here? Like, do people really want to, have fun to the fullest?
People in Pune just love partying. Right. I mean, there's a certain crowd. Obviously, there's a certain crowd that doesn't, but the crowd who loves doing it really loves it. They go out of their way. I don't think there's a weekday in Pune. Like the only weekday that is in Pune is a Monday.
Right.
That also to deal with a hangover.
Right.
Just people in Pune have a good time throughout the week. There are clubs that are full even on Tuesdays. There are people, and the best part is why they are full on Tuesdays is because there's something for everyone. Basic example I'll give you. Just Koregaon Park, that 2 kilometer stretch.
Right.
You start, there's a club which will just give you beers and country music and whatever match you want to watch. You go a bit ahead, there are expensive places with cool names and tasty food. Again, you can go there for days. That caters to a certain crowd.
Right.
You go a bit ahead, there's a certain place which is going to give you a very chill vibe, a very social vibe, a very singer-songwriter vibe on a weekday. Where again, they get the college friends to perform. Because there are so many college people, everyone's talented.
Right.
Everyone wants to explore.
Sure.
And people here give them a platform to explore. And when they are turning up to explore, their friends turn up too.
Got it.
And so it's all balanced. You go a bit more ahead, there's a hip-hop scene happening all over. People are just rapping, like the Pune hip-hop community is quite big. It's getting there, and it's pretty big right now.
Right.
Then you go a bit ahead, there's a deep house, techno, chill vibe scene happening, where people, some are there on their, they're tripping, they're chilling, they're having a good time.
Right.
Being students, it's like a field trip for them.
Right.
Pun intended. And more or less you go a bit more ahead, there's hard EDM playing. Basically they cater to every audience possible. And there are places that cater to everything possible. In terms of, there are new places that come up like a Swig or Eureka, High Spirits, or like a, say, Penthouse.
Right.
They're getting DJs from all over the country, the ones who are trying to make it.
Sure.
And again, Pune being a very youthful crowd, we listen to the music that is not mainstream.
Right.
And we give them an audience. And we really love the music that is not mainstream.
Right.
Like Nuclear, now he's Nuclear.
Sure.
But I remember he used to perform in Pune on a random Sunday, on a random Thursday. And people used to turn up. When he was not Nuclear. Before Nuclear bole fuck that shit, people used to. I've heard Nuclear before Nuclear bole fuck that shit.
Right.
I've gone for a Divine concert when Divine is playing at a Holi. And the only song he's playing is Gully Gang, Gully Gang. That's all he's doing. And people have given him an audience.
Right.
And because there's so much of an audience, because people want to have a good time, I think it's there. People in Pune, bro, our after parties have after parties. Like
Damn.
they say, good dates end with dinner, but the great dates end with breakfast.
Ah,
All our great nights
wow.
have to end with breakfast. Like
That is deep.
only superheroes in Pune can go home after 2 beers, and there are barely any. Like, for sure. It's never just 2 beers when you get out. Like I've gotten out for 2 beers, I've landed up on I've woken up in a hilly area in
What?
someone else's
How-
school. Again, people just keep planning and you just keep going. And because it's a very close-knit community,
Yeah.
everyone knows everyone, at least knows of everyone.
Right.
So in the end, when you're partying or when you're dancing, you're comfortable. कि कोई ना कोई मुझे घर drop कर दे.
Okay.
And the best part is you don't have to travel a lot because
right.
like Bombay, say if you want to go party and you stay at a Bandra and you want to go to Kulaba, you're gonna plan your night out.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know that
yeah.
this is the time I need to be back home, and you have some schedule to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Only people don't have a schedule. Like it comes as they wake up. Like
Interesting.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's like Christmas and New Year's. It's just like that. So I mean, and it's a great city. People come here. Y'all are here. Y'all are here to have a great time. I don't
Absolutely.
think. Imagine doing this for 22 years, being with your best friends all the time. It's not. I mean, it's just gonna be too chill.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's like that. And people here, I've grown up with some people. Like it's like a part of our job. You know, कि अगर हमको बुलाया है इस पार्टी में तो जाना है. If we are invited for some birthday, we have to go. So it's like it's just people just make sure they're there. It's like
Right.
a part of a ritual.
Right.
कि आज ये है तो जाना पड़ेगा. संडे को क्राउड है तो जाना पड़ेगा. डेली पे ये है तो जाना पड़ेगा.
Right.
We take it as a job, but again, it's not good in a way because it has its own pros and cons.
Sure, sure.
But again, if you want to have a good time, I think everyone just ends up in Pune. It has the best festivals in the year. I don't think any NH7 happens for 3 days anywhere else in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the flagship event.
Yes, from when Sunburn quit Goa, the first place they came to was Pune. If you think of EVC, Enchanted Valley Carnival, it happens in Lonavala.
Right.
It's a crazy EDM fest. It only happens in Pune, all over the country. If you look at what else is there, Submerge does a thing.
Even Supersonic, right?
Supersonic, VH1 Supersonic only does Pune. Imagine Machine Gun Kelly coming to Pune.
Yeah.
Like, where does that happen?
Yeah, yeah. Probably
When
Megan Fox, but yeah.
Afro Jack has come to Pune.
Yeah.
Good. I hope he gets her the next time he
Yeah.
comes. But yeah. So it's just like people love partying here. People just are here for a good time and they love their balanced life. Like I know people who wake up, handle their dad's business, go to the gym, get it all pumped, come to the club at night, get their shots going,
Right.
and just go home and sleep. That's their lifestyle. And who am I to judge? They're having a great time. So and more than that, it's a big market.
Right.
Have you thought how much alcohol is sold in those 2 kilometers?
A lot of it, right?
A lot of it. Like I always say this, people in Pune are silent on the weekends. The
Silent on the
alcohol
weekends?
The people in Pune are silent on the weekends. The alcohol talks. That's for
Amazing.
sure.
Wow.
So more or less that's an idea. I think. I hope I.
No, I
did
mean, that is,
justice to it.
yeah, absolutely. I got such a huge insight into the entire scene here. I'm sure everybody else also did. But now I'm gonna ask the audience or like our people there. Have you all heard Raj rapping? Like, have you all seen or heard Raj rapping on beats? So we're gonna ask you, Raj, what I mean. We'll see if we can do a live this thing as well. We have our laptop with speaker. But tell us about some of it, because I think did it start in the lockdown? Did you always want to kind of explore into this thoda bahut hi, if not too much? You have of course been on the talent management side, but how does the talent management become talent?
Actually, hip hop came to me during college. During college, I used to listen to hip hop, and for some reason, I really loved some shairis when people used to crack. I was just when someone says something and it hits you.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful moment, and I think a lot of rappers are able to do that. Something they say something that you just want to hear. Again, I've never been into music any time in my life. It took me a year to get on beat. I was trekking down. I was working with this company where we organized treks. It was called Fitato. So I was the community manager. We were getting down. We were coming down from a trek, and I was just rapping constantly, talking to someone else's raps again. And she just said, why are you rapping this all the time? Just write your own thing. And I'm like, what will I even write about, dude? She said, I don't know anything. Write about college for starters. And I swear, that day, I've never looked back. That day I started writing and it was like an epiphany, bro. I'm like, okay, this is something I'm enjoying. Like after that, even when I'm at a party, if someone says something cool, I think of a punchline around that. I think of a metaphor around that. I think of a build-up around that. It's like I'm always thinking about something cool to say, something witty to say. And then I thought, might as well, make raps out of it. But when I saw, to get on the beat, it took me a year. Like hip-hop's an ocean right now. Yeah, it's an ocean. I'm being frank with you.
Yeah.
So and I'm scuba diving, so I'm enjoying, basically. Like I'm just loving the process right now, and I don't know where it's gonna go. I have a lot of things coming out soon. I have a track coming out soon. I'm trying to get on the reels so that I just get into the process. I've not invested a lot of money in it as of now, considering it's a side hustle. It's like I want to have that art to me. So the whole idea is, I don't know where it's gonna take me. I'm not sure if I'll have records to sell. I'll definitely have a story to tell, basically. And that's the plan. I have no idea where it's gonna take me. And considering influences, I remember...
In the Indian scene, probably if you have anyone in the Indian scene, because that's important, or even Western, either.
I'd like to ask this question to you also, I'll get there, but in the Indian scene, I think Divine is a big influence. Considering, I'll tell you why. He is mainstream, but he says things the whole country relates to. There are certain lines he says which are very basic. Jeele beta aane wali maut hai. But if you think of it, it just hits you. Like सातवीं के सात दोस्त अभी भी अपने साथ है, अभी भी करते पुण्य, अभी भी करते पाप है. I have 7 friends from 7th standard who I'm best friends with. अगर उनके गंदे मुंह से एक गंदी गाली नहीं सुनी तो मेरे को नींद नहीं आती है, basically. It's like that. It's just true. And it's not for me. I've been around and I've seen that it happens. But I think people in India who are doing a really crazy job, I'm gonna tell you, it's Divine. It's Seedhe Maut. They have a certain crowd and they're killing it. And it's Yashraj Mehra. He's gonna be the next big name in Indian hip hop. Like there are certain lines he says, I think it's crazy. And I think I've followed his journey a bit. So I've seen he started rapping after Gully Boy. Like he got into the scene after Gully Boy. And considering the talent management aspect, I think Represent Management, you're pretty close to them. They've done a beautiful job with him. Considering the quality of his videos, the quality of his sound, the production quality is beautiful. And obviously he is talented. He's pretty lyrical. So I think people should put their attention span aside and actually listen, not just hear to his rap, Like he's pretty good. Considering my Western influences, I think J. Cole tops the list. He has something to say, like wo Bhagwan hai. Like he has something to say for every moment, Like he has something to pump you up. He has something to just make you realize, like understand where you are. Like Love Yours is one of my favorite tracks. Like the Kevin's Heart. Some old school tracks of J. Cole like Lights Please, if you've heard of it. It's beautiful. Like it just gives you...
Even Wet Dreams are...
Wet Dreams is again...
Like storytelling, right? Like
it's not even funny. Wet Dreams was the first J. Cole's track that I heard.
Is it?
Yes. And I used to hear it at least 3 times during my internship when I didn't have work to do. And that's when I'm like, oh, it's beautiful,
Yeah.
So that's what. I don't know where it's gonna go. I'm just here to have a good time, have fun. And it's taught me one thing. It's taught me patience. Literally. And at this point, I know I want to do this for a long time. So I don't, like a lot of people think, kyun kar raha hai? I've got people saying, why are you doing this, bro? And this and that. But I've got also people saying, bro, send me the lyrics to that song. Why do you take it off Instagram?
Yeah.
And people I've never met.
Yeah?
People I've never met. Random people. I'm playing football. After football, this guy I've never spoken to in Pune comes to me. Bro, I really like that track you put out. Can you send me the lyrics to it? I've been rapping it all the time. And I deleted it. I deleted it. It was just a random freestyle. I deleted it considering I didn't think it was good enough after a point. He's like, no, bro, send it to me. I really liked it.
So that means a lot to you, right?
That means a lot to me.
That obviously
Yes.
big.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you liked it. Wait, I'll just put it back, Like one person likes it, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm here to have a good time and just have some fun around it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's great. So, music, of course, I've mentioned it a lot in the on the podcast as well, how important it is to me. and what the function and all it serves.
I really want to know who you listen to. Like, can you name top 5 rappers, or just tell me 2 to 3 bars that you're like, oh man, this is a line everyone should hear.
I mean, actually,
If anything that comes
yeah,
up.
no. So I mean, I'll tell you in the Indian scene, because I really want to kind of promote the Indian scene also that's kind of started. So TNS is one rapper which I think his name is Tanmay Saxena, but he goes by TNS from the Bombay scene. He's really cool because he's an Indian rapper who raps in English, right? Like he of course is not a part of the gully thing at all, but he's from Bombay. And I really love his work. Like, I love some of his EPs and everything. I'm completely in love with it. And he's a very people kind of compare it to Kendrick, which is true because he has this conscious rap and he has this commercial feel to it too. So TNS is definitely one. I love one Yash Raj lyric which really is stuck with my mind on the track Hostla. He's like, लिया रास्ता नया जूते घसता गया गाने बजते रहे और मैं भी बजता रहा. Like, that is, I think, such a...
There's one Yash Raj lyric which I like to mention. It's on the track VN1 and it's not on the track. It goes like, तू सीख अपने हादसों से, अकेले खड़ा तू सामने वो 700 है, बुरे तकिए भी सपनों में 700 गए, सांप सूंघ के खड़ा था जब वो 7 खो गए, अब वो ऐसे सलाम करते हमें जैसे हम कोई साहब हो गए.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I mean, I was taken there. I was like, bro, I'm gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So, I mean, he's pretty good.
Absolutely. So that, I mean, from that's Yash Raj is there. From then I also like this duo called Bharg and Rawal from Delhi. So they are also rappers. They are actually from the Seedhe Maut circle itself, like that circuit. And they released this album called Sab Chahiye, which is again amazing. It's not just hip hop, I would say. It's got a lot of other influences, but they are extremely very pleasing to the ears, right? And they have, because Bharg is a singer and Rawal is a rapper, I think it just has that very nice chalk and cheese sort of an effect. So those people are there. Then of course we have people in the entire, not just the hip hop space, but also the the rock and the funk and all of that space. So I'm really excited with what the Indian scene has. But I do want to ask people here as well what music sort of means to them, because I know people who just listen to ambient music and who kind of who love working with ambient or okay, wow, somebody fell, guys, sorry.
Yash took a walk there and a lady fell on that.
Yeah. So I mean, ladies fall for Yash quite often. It just happened quite literally here. But yeah, I just wanna get a perspective from y'all on music, yeah, because I think it's. Bharat, do you wanna give a piece of mind on music? Panch, what about you? Because I know you do kind of listen to music, but what purpose kind of does it solve for you?
But to be honest, music for me is where I just unwind, It's just a fun space. Recently I've been really getting into K-pop.
Oh.
So I've been listening to a lot of BTS, a lot of like Blackpink, ITZY, EXO, and that's what I love about music, is that it's so universal,
Right.
For example, Coldplay just released a new song with
Right, with
BTS called My Universe, and no one could have imagined something like this happening 5 years ago.
Right.
An English artist collaborating with a Korean band,
Right.
a South Korean band, and making a song that's both in English and Korean.
Right.
My Universe has some lyrics in Korean. So I think that just speaks to the universality of music,
Right.
which is why I like it. And it's just a nice space to unwind.
How about hip hop?
I mean, to be honest, I don't really listen to a lot of hip hop. To be honest, I don't really listen to a lot of hip hop.
Right.
I've heard some Kendrick Lamar. I've heard a little bit of Childish Gambino. To be honest, I like hip hop that talks a lot more about social issues. So even in India, there's Arivu.
Right.
His song Enjoy Enjami, Sandasevo, those are all fantastic tracks that say so much in just 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is why I like hip hop. I don't really listen to a lot of mainstream, so I don't think I'm the right person to ask.
No, I mean that's really interesting, because that's the beautiful part about music, right? Those 3 minutes or 4 minutes can mean so much to so many different people. Like, it can have such different implications, and what the artist tries to say that can have a profound impact on people. Like you mentioned for Yash Raj, and I'm sure you're a big fan of his. Now, Raj, we are going to have a very interesting segment now. Okay, you can call it a rapid fire / ask me anything. Like, it's just going to be a bunch of questions that you have to kind of think on your feet and answer. So the first one, we were of course discussing how we would format this, but the first question we want to ask is question number one for you is, why do you like to wear your shirt so tight?
Actually, this is an old one, and I think I'm quite into fitness.
Okay.
And I just like the fit. I mean, if anything that fits me decently, I just wear it. There's no logic as such because I don't have any gains or anything to show off. I just like something that fits, and as long as I'm comfortable, I'm good to go. If something that fits makes me feel comfortable, makes me, think that I have some energy in me.
Right.
That's the whole idea. There's
Got it.
no other, I don't want to show off anything or anything.
Got it.
It's just a basic idea that I'm comfortable in it.
Got it. Okay. Now tell me one thing we don't know about Raj Kadam on Instagram or anyway. Like the public doesn't know. Of course, your close friends might, but tell us that one thing. Probably a hobby. You like cooking. Probably you like stargazing. I don't know, something or the other that people don't know about, but you can share. It can be NSFW, not safe for work, but that really depends on you.
I don't think a lot of people know that I read a lot.
You read a lot?
I read a lot. I've read a lot of books lately. In fact, I at least dedicated 2 hours of my day, considering that I'm pretty free right now.
Right.
I dedicate at least 2 hours of my day reading a lot. I've been reading a lot of.
What do you read?
So I've read Homo Sapiens and Homo Deus. I really suggest everyone reads that. It shows you where you are, how privileged you are in the first aspect.
And the journey of humanity.
And the journey of humanity from a very beautifully written perspective. And then Homo Deus, if you all have read it, just shows you that you're fucked. You're fucked. The world is gonna take over. Like, artificial intelligence is real. And basically, I'd like to put it, what's man-made is gonna get the man dead soon. But it's just beautifully written. Something I also read was, it's pretty known, this book, it's Shoe Dog, Phil Knight.
Phil Knight, yeah, about Nike.
About Nike. Again, I was inspired. I've been reading a lot of, the latest book that I'm reading right now is Losing My Virginity, Richard Branson, which is pretty good. I follow Yes Theory a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Who doesn't,
Right.
So, when that guy was leaving, he mentioned this book in a video. This is what inspired Yes Theory. So I'm like, man, I have to read this. It's a pretty long book. It's a good 580 pages. I'm on the 512th one.
Oh, wow.
But again, I dedicate some time to it.
Interesting.
Yes, I read quite a bit.
I did not know that.
There are some women in my life who've recommended some books. That's why I'm a John Green fan also.
Right.
I've read Looking for Alaska. I've read Paper Towns. I've read The Anthropocene by John Green, which is a lot of his vlogs.
Right.
And I'm a fan. I haven't read that. I think I didn't want to get that mainstream, but I like जो सब नहीं पढ़ते वो मैं पढ़ूंगा. But I think he's beautiful. I think a lot of people don't know that I read a lot.
Okay, that's amazing. That is really interesting. Okay, now next, you've of course mentioned your concerns about Bombay, about how it might be important to people, but it's really not. Sometimes it's for you, sometimes it's not for you. But if given a choice, would you have a 1 BHK in Pune or a nice 2 BHK sea-facing place in Bombay? In Breach Candy, let's say, which is sea-facing. And considering things you don't have to pay for the flat. You just have an option. Of course, your friends might be in Pune. But what would you choose? A 1 BHK in a not so popular part of town, not a very good part of town, or a 2 BHK in Bombay? What would you choose?
Interesting. I'd obviously want to take both, considering on my moods. But again, a 2 BHK in Bombay for the next 20 years of my life, I'd take it any day. Considering a 2 BHK in Bombay is pretty expensive. So if I fuck up, I'm gonna sell it, take the money and start something on my own and get a 4 BHK in Pune. But again, because when you are in Bombay, I think you just learn a lot.
Yeah.
Bombay people are brilliant at multitasking. I had to go to Bombay to just learn one thing, how to work hard. Bombay people are the most hardworking people. I think three cities in the world, Tokyo, New York and Bombay, have the most hardworking people in the world, and I'm sure Bombay tops that list. Bombay is where the money is. Bombay is where, Delhi mein, I'm sure you all have been in Delhi. Delhi mein, judged by what you wear. I mean, people don't talk to you at a great party if you're not wearing a Gucci or something like that, you know. Like, again, what you wear is what you're judged by. In Bombay, I feel, is who you are is what you're judged by. There are people who just walk in a kurta and command some respect. There are people who don't need to show off. They're just known for their brains there. The theatre community in Bombay is brilliant. Like, I mean, Bombay has so much of talent, it's not even crazy. And everyone there is like this. Everyone around just inspires you. That happens to me a lot in Pune also. Everyone just, like, because I love talking to people, someone just says something and I'm like, kya bol diya bro? Sahi hai. Like, you know, it just inspires you. Bombay, Pune people are tough to get to in terms of for you to open up. But in Bombay, when you're sitting in a train, you're just gonna have a conversation and probably never meet that person again. You know, and it's just, and you're all gonna end up with some mutuals. It's like that. But again, I take it any day. There's so much to learn, so much to earn, so much to do everything.
So Bombay is for you.
Bombay, yes. For 20 years. Again, when I'm 50, I want to travel the world, I want to see places, I want to settle abroad, I want to do everything. But when I'm 50, I want to be back home in Pune and I want to live the life I've lived for the first 20 years and make the most of it with my friends. Again, travel around, but the people I've grown up with, I like to, you know, end with home. Or kya chahiye?
So, Raj, the last question for you, and really the last part of this episode as well. It's a very important one, I would say. You know, and you did mention friends and, you know, Pune and everything. Is that if you would wake up one day as Ansh Firwani, what would you do? What would you do the first thing, and what would your day look like?
If I wake up as Ansh Firwani, my God.
give listeners a context who Ansh is, right?
Yeah, who is
Ansh, I'll give a context.
Yeah.
Okay, he's one of my best friends for starters. I've learned a lot from that guy, probably more than I've learned from anyone else. He's a guy who carries himself like no one else in the city does. Yeah. That's for sure. The amount of effort he puts in making sure how well he's dressed, how he's carrying himself, how his hair is made for starters. It's crazy. The way he greets people, everything. I think he's like, he should be a movie star or something, considering the way he greets everyone, the way he's around people and everything. If I wake up as Ansh, depends who I wake up next to. But again, if I wake up as Ansh on a Monday, I'm probably gonna be hungover as fuck. And the first thing I'm gonna do is hit the gym because the gains are important. If you've seen him lately, he's become a beast. And then I'm gonna have some great breakfast. Then I'm gonna watch a good series so that I have something to talk about when I'm out. Then I'm gonna call a few friends, play some great FIFA, and chill. Read something. He is very well read. Be on Twitter around. See what everyone else is doing. Not show too much to the world, but see what everyone else is doing. Gonna head out for a great brunch at an expensive place. Have some food, a few cocktails to go with it. Then my evening, I usually have a champagne or a Jaeger diet. You know, to get some Jaegers going, have a good time, have some great food, and with some ice cream. And if the night goes hard, you know, I want to go to Taj to have the biryani, क्योंकि उधर की बिरयानी में taste है और किधर नहीं है. But yeah, I think that's more or less what my day would look like.
Amazing. All right, Raj. Thank you so much for doing this. Yeah, this was, I'm sure, for everybody, you know, who's here, and I'm sure for me it was such a big learning experience. Just the way you kind of gave us an insight into not just yourself.
Add something.
Yes.
Pune, I think, is more than just a party place. It has its communities.
Right.
The communities in terms of art. There are so many communities in terms of art. Look at the communities of artists. We have an artist for every genre. Ritviz is Pune based. Again, not just art, not just parties. Look at the fitness community. Not a lot of people know this. Kaustubh Radkar is from Pune. He's a man who's completed 30 Ironmans and 5 Ultramans.
Right.
He's the only Indian to do it.
Right.
And he runs a thing called Rad Strong, where there are 20 to 30 people 10 kilometers away from here running every day and working out like crazy. There's a beautiful football community in Pune where people play so much of football. Again, it's not as big as, you know, it gets in Bombay and other places, or in Kolkata for that matter. Kolkata is a hub. Like, they breathe football. It's their religion there. It's not Bengali, it's football. But again, I think there are so many more communities and there's so much more to Pune. The theatre community in Pune is great.
Yeah.
The Marathi theatre community in Pune is great. People should really check that out. There's a lot more to Pune than just the parties and the good times. But again, the place where we come from and the perspectives where we come from, we are here to have a good time. So I hope just people remember that. There's a lot more to my city than just that.
So if people come down to Pune, if some of the listeners come down to Pune, like, should they catch up with you, or like if they want to meet you, will you show them?
I'm a call away. I'm always a call away. Or you can just DM me or whatever. I'm sure I'll help you out. Whatever you want to do, just give me a call, DM me. I'm always here to help you out. Not a problem at all.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, everyone. The live audience as well as people listening to this on their phones or their laptops. Thank you so much, Raj. It was really a pleasure. And yeah, let's fucking get drunk, man.
Let's do that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, thank you so much for listening to episode 37. I hope you had a good time. Share it with a friend or probably share it on your Instagram stories. It really helps boost the show. Follow us on Instagram actually if you haven't. And I will see you for episode 38 when I'll be 24 years old. I'm gonna be old. Shit. Bye bye. I'll see you soon. Okay? Go. Bye.